Hello and welcome. I'm Daniel.
And I'm Andrew. We're two brothers. And this is the Daniel and Andrew Show.
Where we give our opinions about movies and TV and movies about toys that we've been watching lately. So, Andrew, how you doing today?
I'm good. How about you?
I'm doing all right. Just not doing anything today because I've been busy the entire week. Getting ready for this big weekend of movies and then the weekend actually coming. And it's busy. So, yeah. Did you do anything fun this week?
Well, as you know, a co-op game came out. It's pretty fun, so pretty much been doing that most of the weekend.
Gotcha. That's nice.
Yeah, it's been a while since a good one. That not only a good one has come out, but also worked at launch.
I know that doesn't happen often anymore for some reason that I will never understand. And nothing to hijack it either, like things to pay for or whatever. So I'm assuming.
Yeah.
So that's good. Cool. I just was working, and then yesterday I saw two theater productions. One, our grandma was in a show, so I went and saw that, and that was good. It was just about five ladies, in their friendship or whatever. It was nice. I was probably the youngest one in there, but that's okay. But it was good. And then I then went to, I'm the vice president of a theater company, and I went to our show that we had right now, and it was just a bunch of short scenes and stuff like that, and that was pretty good too. So got a couple good shows in. Don't see live theater all the time, so that was fun. It was just full packed day of things, and I did other things in between, but it was quite the day. So
cool.
Coming off of busy work days. So yep. And I saw two movies. I saw Barbie and I saw Oppenheimer this week. So I was doing a lot of sitting and watching things in a theater. And I went to AMC to see Oppenheimer, which was a bad idea because it's a 3-hour movie and there's so much stuff for AMC. A lot of trailers and whatnot. So this week on the trailer train, we got 3 trailers. Let's start with Haunting in Venice, because this movie looks weird.
I don't know. It's got quite a few famous people in it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the premise of the story looks really boring and dumb to me.
Well, this trailer, at least, I feel like, is less misleading than the first trailer. The first trailer is just straight up like, oh, this is a horror movie. This one is like, at least showing, well, there's like it's more of a murder mystery with the horror elements to it. But I just thought it was...
It was
it's
a
weird.
Difference to the first trailer, I will say,
Yeah. It's the third one with him playing Poirot, Kenneth Branagh, the one that he's directed as well, after Murder in the Orient Express and Death on the Nile.
So I didn't realize these were connected, honestly.
it's just the same detective. They're not like connected in any way. It's just the same character doing different stuff.
Okay.
And this is they're all based on Agatha Christie, and this one's like the only one's not based on like a book, like a full book. It's like based on like a short story she wrote, which is like the only one she ever did with horror supernatural elements to it, pretty much. But and it's
Okay.
coming out in September. It's not even coming out in October, which I find weird. But like they think this is gonna hold over till Halloween is a
That's what
dumb.
they're doing with Haunted Mansion for some reason.
Well, Haunted Mansion, the when they did the last remake or last version that came out in the summer too. So
Well,
well,
it's just make them both dumb.
yeah,
It should be in
yeah,
near Halloween. That probably do better.
I agree with you. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, well, this is another one in under the search, like the 20th Century Studios. That's Disney owned, so we'll see how that does. Did you see the trailer for the Holdovers?
Yes. It's got some. It's kind of like quirky movie, I'd say. Uh, it looks decent. It looks, like it'll have some heartfelt moments and. Uh, it also looked a
Yeah,
little like just kind of talking kind of movie. And it'll be kind of slow, probably, but it'll probably be a good movie if you stick around for the whole thing.
yeah. Well, it's Alexander Payne is directing it, and he's a really good director. He directed Sideways, The Descendants, Nebraska, Election. I don't know if you've seen any of those movies, but
A single one.
he makes really good movies. Most of the time, they're nominated for a bunch of Oscars. He, yeah, his Sideways. He made that with that's a one with Paul Giamatti, and then he's making this one with Paul Giamatti. Yeah, this I think it'll be good. Yeah, his movies are always usually funny with like heartfelt, moments in it. They're gonna show in the trailer. It's more, like comedy stuff in it. But it'll definitely have more dramatic stuff in it. But like he made Nebraska's a really good movie. The Descendants is a really good movie. So I'm definitely want to check this movie out because I've liked his other movies. And Paul Giamatti's good. So definitely gonna check it out.
Yeah.
And it's like made by like Focus Features, which is like a tiny studio. And most of his movies are like a small story. It's not like some big, it's just about like a family or
Yeah, so
a
they
couple
have
people.
creative control over it. They don't have some studio looming over it.
Oh yeah, I'm like, I wouldn't be surprised if he like wrote it
Okay.
and everything. He probably had a heavy hand in making it. So because that's what he does with most of his movies. So yep, I'll definitely be checking that one out. So yeah, probably the big one this week was the second trailer for the Marvels.
Yeah.
What did you think?
Well, it took three superhero characters that I don't care about, and they put them all in a movie together. Um, they none of their powers like make any sense. They're just kind of like lights and stuff, and it they don't really give them any like weakness at all. I'd say,
Well,
like,
we don't see that, but yeah.
yeah, other than taking it away. It's kind of like with Superman. The only way you beat him is if with kryptonite that takes away his powers. It's got kind of the same kind of flaw as that.
I can see how you could say that for like Captain Marvel. But the other two, I'm sure they probably will have limitations. For sure.
I suppose. I guess I've never said. I don't know. Did they say in?
I don't. Not in the trailer, no. But I think.
No, I mean in the show for the younger one.
Miss Marvel, yeah, she's not. Yeah, they're not perfect. You know, she has. I can't. Well, like with most superheroes, I can't tell you what like their weakness is. Like
Not like
Captain America's just a person.
Like they have limitations. Like
I'm sure they'll have limitations. I don't know what they are. I just
figured they might have said in the show because you actually finished that show, and I never got through it.
Yeah, she's the. Well, it's more most of the time it's like powers that it's like so much that she can't like handle it, or like something like that. So we'll see. I don't know. And they also changed her powers in that show, so. Like she was like stretchy.
Oh, you mean from the comics? Yeah.
Yeah, they've changed now her powers. It's like she's basically Green Lantern.
Yeah, her powers just come from a bracelet or whatever. So I guess you can just take away the bracelet.
Yeah, but also she's a mutant.
Oh yeah. It looks so dumb. I'm sorry. It's just the powers are like they're all like shooting stuff.
I'm gonna guess that they're gonna define them more in this movie, maybe.
But now you gotta somehow define them in a movie with three superheroes all at once.
I will say I don't think they need to define Captain Marvel. I think she's been established. I think it's the other two that they're gonna establish more, especially. Tiana Paris's character,
who was like barely even
who was in WandaVision. Yeah. So like, they'll have to. I don't think we've ever even seen her powers before.
Yeah, just in that. Yeah, they didn't even show the powers in it.
Yeah. So we'll get, more of her, I'm sure. And what she does. They're all light-based powers.
Yeah,
I guess. I don't know. I understand your issues, but I think that this trailer was more interesting and more fun than the other one.
The first one, yeah. I don't know. I'll say this is the least interested I've ever been in Marvel, a Marvel movie. So,
yeah. Well, I don't think you're the only one that feels that way. I don't know. Might be good. Might be bad. Might be somewhere in between.
Yeah, I mean, seen all the movies at least. So.
Yeah, well, it's funny because I talked to a few people yesterday about it because we usually start talking about superhero stuff, superhero movies, because because I like to get people's opinions on things, and nobody has seen Secret Invasion. I've only watched the first episode, and it just
I
came
haven't
out
seen it.
at a crappy time, I think, and nobody's paying attention to it.
Yeah. It kind of did come out at a crappy time. There's just so much other things to watch.
Yeah. This weekend it was Barbieheimer here. Like there's 2 movies you can go see instead of watching that. I don't know.
Yeah. Mission Impossible was before this.
Mission Impossible, exactly. Like, I think we started watching The Bear. I like it so far. Second season's coming out. So, yeah, I don't know. I guess there's other things to watch. I think we'll see what happens. I don't think we're going to get any Marvel stuff after this for a while with the strike. So, as far as I know,
they need to take a breather, anyways. I think.
Yeah. People are worried that maybe they might push back stuff that's supposed to come at the end of the year back because of the strike, like Dune and things like that. So who knows what's going to happen, because there's these reshoots and things like that.
But they can't. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, speaking of reshoots, Aquaman 2 is reportedly a huge mess. Several rounds of test screenings, 3 rounds of reshoots. So like one round of reshoots is normal, but 3 rounds is a lot.
Yeah, is anyone surprised?
They were having test screenings, and then test screenings were poor, so they do reshoots. More test screenings, reshoots. So, yeah. And that's supposed to come out at the end of the year. So, I don't know if they can do any more reshoots if they're, on strike. So, that's a problem.
That is a problem. I guess they'll just have to pick whatever bad version they came up with.
I guess hopefully some of these other movies had their movie in the can before the strike, because otherwise it's just going to be, it is what it is type situation. No writers, no actors. So, yep. Big issues. We're probably not going to have a lot of TV shows in the fall. So
I don't know. Maybe we'll have to go on hiatus for a while and not have nothing to talk about.
Maybe. Well, they're gonna maybe have to go back to the time where they actually like have things scripts completed and things like that, instead of just going, oh, we're gonna announce this thing 5,000 years in advance and we don't have any script or anything. We're just like, oh, this sounds like a good idea. They have to go back to the days where they have like everybody in place and then they have it ready to go.
Yeah.
And pay people. Speaking of things that say they're going to come out, over a year, and, who knows if this is actually going to be ready to go, but Borderlands movie, they said is coming out. It's been in development
for a long time,
for 2015, so 8 years. It's going to be directed by Eli Roth, who's a horror movie director, starring Cate Blanchett, Kevin Hart, Jack Black, and Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yeah.
So that's some star power for sure. Two Oscar winners in that one.
I want to say they already shot it.
Oh, okay. Well, hopefully they don't.
Why we haven't seen the trailer?
Hopefully they don't do any have to do any reshoots.
Yeah.
And Jack Black is playing what's it called? Claptrap,
Hmm.
the little
And
robot.
I guess just any eccentric character these days, you might as well just throw Jack Black in there, I guess.
Yeah, Jack Black is the eccentric character man.
We can't think of anybody else. That's the only person who can do it.
We were talking about Mario and who should, like, if they do another one, which they will because it made a gajillion dollars, like more character voices for the characters, and what characters would you want to see? And I want to just see some more random choices, like Chris Pratt as Mario. I want to see, like, Waluigi played by like Christopher Walken, or just some really random choices that I think would be weird and stupid. Wario played by Jeff Goldblum. Just something really off the beaten path. I think would be really funny.
Yeah.
Because they also wasted, like, Fred Armisen as a voice in Mario, and they did nothing with him. He was the, like, king monkey, Cranky Kong.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I still think Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong was really stupid. So
yeah, that is one where it's just like, that's that person.
yeah.
So we'll see. So the James Bond producers came to Sam Mendes and offered him to come back and do direct another James Bond movie. Sam Mendes recently directed 1917 and Empire of Light. He directed Skyfall and Spectre. They came back to him and he turned it down. He doesn't want to come back to Bond. And to that I say good, so he can make his original stuff. And also Spectre wasn't particularly great. So my question is then, who do we get to direct it? I've seen some interesting picks online. I do not want Christopher Nolan to direct a Bond movie.
I don't think he'd do one anyway. So
I hope he doesn't, because I don't want to see that.
They would have to give him just a huge bag for him to do it.
Yeah, exactly. No thanks.
He probably could make a pretty good Bond movie, though.
He probably could. It would just be long and overly complicated, and that's my only thing.
Yeah.
Could.
I mean, what was the second one? That one was long and overly complicated.
Which one? What are you talking about?
The desert one? I don't remember which one it was.
I don't think that was that. It's Quantum of Solace. I just don't think you liked that movie. I don't think it's really that.
It was overly complicated. There was like some secret organization. They were all very overly complicated, if you ask me.
Okay. Well, I'm good.
Anyways, who are the other people?
I saw Matthew Vaughn. He directed, Kick-Ass and Kingsman.
No, pass.
Who else did I see?
We don't want no robot dogs running around.
Robot dogs?
In one of those Kingsmen, there's some robot cyborg dog thing.
Why do I not remember that at all?
The villain was a lady, a famous lady, and she had a robot dog thing. Maybe it wasn't
Okay.
a dog. Maybe it was like a tiger. I don't know.
I don't remember at all, but that's okay. Um, people are
How do you
saying just
don't
I
remember
don't
this?
remember. I don't
Okay,
remember.
okay. It
Um,
was the one with the whip guy. I'm pretty sure.
the
Or was that
whip
the third
guy.
one? Do you not remember? It had he's in Last of Us, Mandalorian. He
Oh,
was
Pedro Pascal. Yes, okay, I remember. Sorry, that was like 5 years ago at this point, if not longer. Um,
yeah. I mean, just a
it wasn't the
Kingsman movie.
best. Wasn't the best. Then since then, The King's Man came out and stuff, so I've
Yeah. Well,
forgot.
I didn't even finish that one, so not Kingsman, please.
Um,
Who
people are
else?
saying bring back Martin Campbell. He directed both of the last two starts for the last two James Bonds. He directed GoldenEye for Pierce Brosnan, and he directed Casino Royale for
Mm,
Daniel Craig. So they're just like the only one who can start a James Bond off right, bring him back. And I would be fine with that. My only problem is that the last couple movies that Martin Campbell have directed have been not good. So I just I doubt they would give him that. The last movie he
I
directed was The Protege.
don't even know what that is.
Exactly. Because no one talked about it because it wasn't very good. Um,
I would say that they need to kind of they need to like write three movies and really like I'd say have a beginning and end, and it would be a much more interesting watch if they actually didn't just make up another story after the other one, because I'd say that hurts the film.
yeah, I've seen some other interesting choices. Nicholas Winding Refn, who directed Drive with Ryan Gosling. Bong Joon Ho, he's a big fan of. He did Snowpiercer and Parasite. Ryan Johnson, because obviously of
No,
Daniel Craig,
clearly
and
can't
then
do well with franchises.
and David Leitch, who directed John Wick,
That'd be
the first
cool.
one.
Honestly, that's my. I mean, they would have good action for sure, and then
Yeah, well,
as
if
far
you
as
wanted to do more, hand to hand action, he did Bullet Train and Atomic Blonde and the Nobody.
yeah, yeah, no, that would be a
Um,
good choice.
yeah, I think there are some good choices. I'm hoping either I would rather Denis Villeneuve is another one that people would like. He directed Dune and Arrival and other things.
Hmm.
Um, so we'll see. Um, yeah, I think there's good options. Maybe someone with an action background. I think it just depends on what kind of movie they want to make. I still think they should put him back in the '60s, put him back in his time. I think might be good. And you could have a classic Bond story, and then you can have more hand to hand action and stuff like that. Might be fun. And it just looks cooler in that whole era with the classic
I
tuxes and stuff like that.
I agree with you that I personally would probably rather see a movie set in the past, but that's not going to attract any uh, new viewers, I would say.
I think if you get a director that like a David Leitch or something like that, that younger people would be like, oh, the guy who did John Wick. Like, I think you could set it at any time.
Mm,
Or you just get somebody, bring somebody like Martin Campbell back that has done good Bond movies in the past. People, just enough people will come and see it and be like, oh, well, that was a good movie, and bring a good word of mouth. So I think there's good options. Most likely they'll just pick someone random that nobody wants, but we'll see. But I think they have a chance to do something really different or something good. But who knows? They could also just make a movie that no
I
one
feel
wants to
like they're
watch.
just gonna play it safe. They're just gonna make the same old, same old.
Yeah. Well, this weekend was a big weekend for movies. Two large movies came out. Way better than anybody expected for both of them. TikTok and memes, Barbieheimer, worked because it's pretty crazy. Definitely the biggest weekend for this year for movies. Barbie had the best opening weekend of any movie this year, better than Mario. Wow. It's going domestically. It's going to make past 150 million, 155 million, something like that. Mario came out and it was made like 145 million. So Barbie originally had like nothing. They thought, oh, that was going to bomb, flop movie. And then it went up to like 90 million predictions, and then it went to 110 like right before the weekend, and it smashed all those predictions. It's like $150 million movie. Big old weekend. Oppenheimer is doing well as well. That had like a 50 million prediction, and it's going to make like 75 million. I think that this is probably this is like probably the biggest opening weekends for movies, just box office weekend since Endgame. Mm-hmm. Like, yeah, so big weekend for movies. There's no problems. Lots of people coming into theaters. I think it helps that Oppenheimer's on the big screens, but people are fine seeing Barbie. They don't have to see it on the IMAX. So I think that's helping. So the premium and the non-premium screens are getting filled up. I said it's women are an underserved market. It reminds me of when Black Panther came out. Everybody came up with their Black Panther outfits on. Just this time, it's pink and Barbie outfits for Barbie. People, when you give a market what they want, they come out and see it. I haven't seen it this busy in a very, very, very long time, and I'm happy that. It's kind of weird that the number one movie of the summer might be Barbie, because that is not what I thought was going to happen. But do
you think it's going to keep this pace?
No. There's no. It's going to probably have like a huge drop.
I'm thinking it's going to have a huge drop.
Like, let's see. Yeah, I think it'll have like a 60% drop next weekend, or maybe even bigger. If it makes like 50 million next weekend, that's a huge drop. I just think when it opens that huge, it's almost impossible not to have a big drop like that. So we'll
Yeah, I
see.
would say like everyone who probably wanted to see it has probably seen it now. So
Yeah, it is Barbie. It's the biggest domestic opening of this year, biggest opening ever for a female director, biggest opening for Margot Robbie and Ryan Gosling, and biggest opening weekend for a movie that isn't a sequel, remake, or superhero movie ever.
wow.
So, yeah. I like Greta Gerwig, and I'm happy that she's getting good recognition. I did not think it would be anywhere near this big. But yeah, big weekend for movies. So let's talk about one of those movies. Today we're talking about Barbie. Like I said, you got Ryan Gosling, you got Margot Robbie. It's directed by Greta Gerwig. I think this was a good movie, but I gotta throw it over to Andrew first because I'm curious what he has to say.
It's pretty mid for me. The funny thing is, I mean, I went with my wife, Laura, and I told her, give me a rating. And she was like, trash.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And I was like, whoa, how about a number? And she was like, I don't know, a 4.
Really?
Um, so I was like, I mean, I didn't think it was that bad.
A 4. Wow.
I think she may
Okay.
have just been joking, but this, I don't know. I guess
She was
didn't like the
joking?
movie much. It kind of felt
Oh.
like she was joking, but she didn't like the movie. No,
Oh.
she didn't really find it funny. There were a few parts that I found funny, but I don't know. My opinion is pretty mid. I'll probably never see this again. Honestly, I could have gone without seeing it. So
All right. Well, we'll have different opinions for sure.
mhm.
I like this movie a lot. It was funny. The music was good. It was like a soundtrack movie, and the music was like a part of the movie. The director said that she was inspired by like movie musicals and like Saturday Night Fever and Grease and stuff like that, where like the music's like part of the movie. It was funny. I have a few issues, which brings it down a little bit for me. There was nice heartfelt moments in there. The ending is the only thing that's kind of weird for me. And we could talk about it in spoilers. I liked the musical numbers, as of course I'm going to like them. I liked the world that they were in was fun and funny to me. I don't know. I had a good time. What did you think of her as Barbie? Margot Robbie.
I think she did a great job. I would say both her and Ryan Gosling did a great job with the role. I actually think Ryan Gosling did a better job than her.
Yeah, well, I think Ryan Gosling got to have the more, obviously,
Yeah,
goofy.
he got to have more fun with it.
Yeah. Yeah, usually the protagonist is kind of, is our through line, but not always the most interesting character. Yeah, Ryan Gosling had a lot of fun stuff to do.
Yeah, he
Um,
definitely kind of became the standout of the movie. At least I didn't think so. I don't. Maybe.
oh yeah, I think there wasn't even a question that that was going to happen just based on the trailers. You know,
Okay.
but we had other Barbies, we had other Kens. I thought those everyone did a pretty good job. One of my favorite characters was Alan, played by Michael Cera. He's just like,
Yeah.
I'm here too, guys.
Hmm.
I thought that was funny. Um, and then we had some human characters. We had Will Ferrell. This was basically the Lego movie again, complete with Will Ferrell playing the CEO real world
Yeah.
character.
Hmm.
And we had America Ferrera and Ariana Greenblatt as a mother and daughter in the real world, and America Ferrera's character works at Mattel. I liked
Hmm.
them. There's a big scene for America Ferrera in this movie, and that's one of my detractors in this movie. And I think I'm pretty sure you know what I'm talking about, and we'll talk
You
about that
don't.
in,
You
in
don't enjoy
spoilers.
preachiness.
We'll talk about it. So there's a lot of messages in this movie. There's one big message, which is what that big scene is about, of course. But there's other messages that I liked in this movie that are not just about that. It is definitely, it is a movie made by women, mostly for women. So, you know, it's weird to hear a woman's perspective, and she didn't like it.
Hmm. That's
But
what I was saying. I was like, kind of missed the mark. If
I would kind of want to hear more of why she didn't like it, not just I didn't like it, but you
he
know,
just doesn't enjoy this type of humor, I don't know.
okay, maybe I don't know. Um, yeah. So, um, interesting. Okay, so what's your rating then?
My rating, I'm looking at like a 6 or 5.
Okay, okay, and you would not you'd say see it in theaters, see it at home, not see it at all.
Um, I mean, if I was telling another guy, I'd be like, you're gonna be bored. It's not worth it. But maybe for a woman, you might like it. I can't dive into that mind and tell you how it works. So, I never thought this movie was gonna do this well. I don't. I feel like everyone's going to the theater and being disappointed. That's my take.
Well, I can tell you for a fact that that's not true, just based on the reactions I got from people walking out of the movie. But well, it's
I know people were enjoying it. There was people in my theater. There was actually this dude who was so loud, and like literally the first joke of the movie, he was like, like it was the best, like the funniest thing you ever heard. Like literally the first joke of the movie, and I was like, okay.
I
So
thought
there's definitely an audience for this, for sure.
well, I thought the movie was funny, and the humor does work for me. And yes, I had lots of people laughing in the theater. I yeah, I thought that it worked for me. I would say a lot of the jokes were in the trailer. I think they could have had less jokes. I think they could have had alternative jokes to put in the trailers than the ones. It's just like, you know, and some of the biggest, funniest jokes were in the trailer, I think. But I don't think that this movie was misrepresented in the trailers. Actually thought the trailers were actually a pretty good representation of kind of what this movie is.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
It
Yeah.
doesn't completely give it away, and it doesn't also completely, just go blah. Here it is. You know what I mean? So, okay. So I am much higher on this movie than you are. I would definitely say check it out in the theater, just because I like it's bright and the music's good. So I like seeing that on with good sound in a theater. I'm at 8.5.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Okay.
Next week we're gonna do our top 5 movies so far this year, me and you, and this is definitely in there.
Oh yeah. I mean,
So
this came out of nowhere, like you said. Like
yeah,
all these memes and stuff, I guess somehow made everyone want to see this movie.
yeah. I saw both of the movies of Barbieheimer here, and one I definitely liked more than the other one. So yeah, so we can get into spoilers. So the reason why it was higher for me until a little bit later in the movie, there's a scene where America Ferrera just basically goes, "Well, it's hard to be a woman, and this is why." And I would have been okay with it if it wasn't so long. She just like keeps going. This is why it's hard. This is why it's hard. This is why it's hard. And I was like, if it was shorter and succinct, it would have been okay. But it was like this long monologue of just like, how hard it is. Obviously, I'm not a woman, but I was like, okay, because like they're giving the message, right? So, like throughout this movie, kind of, and other messages, but this message
Constantly.
but there was some subtlety to it until a little bit until this was just, this is the message. If you didn't get it, this is the message. And once again, just to be sure, if you get it, this is the message. And I was like, all right, I got it. And
I see how you're saying it's subtle in the other whenever they do it the other times, but it's still pretty much the entire movie. So for me, the entire movie comes off way more preachy. And I get that the movie it is a good message. I'm not saying the message is wrong or anything. It's just I don't like getting beat over the head with it.
Yeah. I think that it's not just about women. I think it talks about men as well. It's not just it is not, people are going to make it out to be just like an anti-men, women are great and men suck movie.
But
And it's not just that.
I would say if a kid goes and see this show or movie, which I'm sure they will, a kid's just gonna come out, saying girls rule, boys drool sort of thing. That's all it's gonna come off.
I think, I don't think this movie is for kids. I would say,
but that doesn't mean watch it. It's a PG-13 movie.
I understand
it's not made for the kids, but I'm just saying that's how it's going to come off. You can't make a Barbie movie and say a kid's not going to watch it.
No, I agree. I think, I didn't see a ton of kids seeing the movie. I saw a lot, I saw teenage girls to old women. Like I saw quite a big range. So but mostly younger to middle-aged women was the most people I saw in the audience, wearing their pink, wearing their outfits, whatever. And then like boyfriends that had to come along or whatever. But I think, it's probably not for kids. I think teenagers, I think if you're I think it's a thing that your parent, like a parent, would have to talk to them after the movie, conversations and stuff. And obviously, parents know their kids the best, so they can, see
if they're ready for it.
Yeah, exactly. I think there's a lot of good stuff in this movie. I think it's Ken in this movie. It's he was made basically as an accessory and for Barbie, not like his own thing. Obviously, so I think they talked about that well, and I thought it was funny, all the stuff with Ken and everything, and him figuring out how it works. I like the role reversal. I think Ryan Gosling did a really good job, and he was a good choice. His comedic timing and style fits perfectly with this character and how they wrote it. I'm sure I would be surprised if that Greta Gerwig didn't have him in mind when writing
when
this.
she was writing it.
Because like it's perfectly suited for his comedy style. So yeah, I think he's a good comedic actor, and I would like to see him do more comedic stuff. Yeah, there is. I liked the kind of some of the twists of the movie. You think it's this little girl's memories, and it, it ends up being the mom's memories with the girl, not the other way around. So she's coming to the real world thinking it's because of this girl, but it's actually the mom's feelings. So what's happening in the movie is Barbie is all of a sudden having weird thoughts of existential thoughts, and she thinks it's the girl is depressed, but it's actually the mom is sad that her daughter is growing up and not wanting to like play Barbie and stuff with her anymore. So I thought that was interesting. And
I mean, I guess that was a twist.
Well, I
didn't care.
Okay. Well,
I didn't think it was like I'd say it was a twist. That was just the plot. I don't.
They showed like the same scenes again
but so it was very clear that the mom wasn't shown. It just, I didn't think it was much of a twist, but okay. I guess technically, it was a twist.
Yeah.
I would say it's like eating a pretzel and then surprised that there's a twist. It's just, there wasn't much of a twist.
Yeah. So the big scene with America Ferrera, that brings it down a point for me. And then a half point comes down for me based on this ending, with the creator of Barbie. Ruth is a character in this. And at first I was confused about the ending, and I had a lot of time to marinate on it. I like it and don't like it at the same time, because it was like, who is this person? And I was like, it's her ghost hanging out at Mattel, I guess. I don't know.
I don't know why this is the part you're taking a problem with. There's another Barbie world anyways. So you're already in disbelief. This is the part where you're going to say,
I know,
I don't believe this.
But that's just I'm not saying that I don't believe it. It's just weird. Like, it's weird to, like, I'm okay with the Barbie thing, because obviously I have to accept that premise from the get, right? Mm-hmm. But now it's just like, okay, now there's this like lady's ghost hanging out in like a room, like they knew, so that they knew that the ghost was there, so they made up like this like 1940s 50s house set for her ghost to hang out in always. Like that is weird, a little weird to me. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, I agree. I thought the whole thing was dumb. I didn't know
um,
who she was either. It didn't really make that much sense.
but that it's just kind of, you know, they're just talking about like, you know, like what it means to be human, I think, and yeah, having complex emotions and stuff like that. Obviously, Barbie, there's not much. It's just like pretty straightforward. But yeah, so the ending was a little weird. I think I would see this movie again. I liked I think most of this movie is really strong for me. I think the opening of the movie was strong and funny, where they're talking about Barbie and the impact that Barbie had with the
I'm
narration and stuff.
completely opposite. The whole her taking a shower with no water, drinking her tea with no tea in it, and
Yeah.
all that. And then we do it a second time, but everything's going wrong.
Yeah. I thought that was funny. And then like the song is
None of that
different.
was funny.
Oh,
It
really?
was.
I thought it was hilarious. That's so funny. I thought it was great.
Then we go into Ken's beaching each other off.
Mm-hmm.
An unfunny joke in the trailer, an unfunny joke in the movie.
Okay.
So basically, the first section for me was so continue.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I could see where you might have a problem then with that. I liked the Barbie being in the Barbie world.
And then them just going hi for like 8 years or whatever. I know that was the joke. I just didn't find it funny.
Oh, okay. Well, so you liked them being in the real world more, I'm guessing?
I would say yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. We'll see.
Interesting.
We're kind of remembering it as we're talking about it. So
Okay. Yeah, because I liked the stuff in the Barbie world more than the stuff in the real world. Most of it anyway. But yeah, my favorite there's one very, 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 very short scene in the movie that this it'll stick in my mind after, and it has stuck in my mind since I watched it and I saw it on whatever day, Wednesday or something. When she gets to the real world and she's at a bus stop, and she turns to this older lady and she says, "You are beautiful." And then the lady turns to her and she says, "I know." I don't know. That was really nice. I liked that moment a lot. I think that what was good about the movie. It was just, I think the confident, like having women having the confidence to just be that way is refreshing for me. Than just, I'm okay with that confidence than just whatever. Like they're empowered, but not in like a preachy way. You know what I mean? It's just like they're just how they are. You know what I mean?
honestly, I had forgotten about this scene. But yeah,
that was my favorite moment in this whole movie.
I feel like there was you said just off topic, but in Indiana Jones, you were like some scene where the villain had some talk with some random like service guy. And I was like, I had forgot that scene. It was in the movie. I'm still in the same boat as that one. I didn't think this was that big of a deal.
I like the character moments. For me, it's always more about the acting and the character moments than like always the plot. I think you get hung up on like certain plot things more, and I'm more about like the characters' relationships and the interactions and stuff like that. So when you have something like that that just stands out so much for me, it helps it a lot. Um, I there's needs to be room for movies that do different things and have something else to be said. It's always going to be difficult when it's just about, you know, being human, and like that's always comes with pitfalls. I think if you're just going, hey, well, this sucks, now listen to me about it, you know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I think this movie did a good job, but yeah, it's not a perfect movie by any means. um so I would see it again. um I am interested in getting people's perspective. I've gotten a few people's perspective, but most people are probably not getting it. Like, I think people are either immediately seeing it or they were like waiting for people's reactions, to the movies. And I just think everyone can have a very different reaction to this movie. And I think it's pretty obvious that that happens because me and you, and Laura had a completely different perspective. So, yeah, because I talked to we, I saw it with other people that I work with, and most of the female people that I work with that saw the movie liked it a lot. I asked a couple of them, I was like, what's your rating? And one girl was like, I don't know, a 10 or an 11. So, I think everyone will take something different from it. I'm not, I'm not, I'm not 100% the target audience, but I also like indie
I would say
movies.
Laura's not, like she said so far her favorite movie of the summer was Mission Impossible. And then before she said that, she said as a joke, my favorite movie of the summer hasn't come out yet. And she's referring to Oppenheimer. So
All right. Well, I
she
guess
said
you
it
got,
as a joke, but I
okay.
would say she's not like your typical. Uh, she's just not the target audience, I guess. She likes more depth to her movies. So when they're just kind of telling these kooky jokes the whole time, and she doesn't enjoy it that much. I don't know.
I will say I think she is more she likes a comedy is difficult. I think it's harder to get her to like really laugh at something, I think, than other
I mean,
stuff.
she likes romantic comedies, but I wouldn't say this movie is a romantic comedy.
I
So,
agree. I I like this movie a lot. I think it's worth your time. Just at, whether you like it or not like it, I just think it's a interesting piece of media to watch, and I think either way, I think it would be an interesting watch. I don't think it was boring. I thought at least there was fun stuff in it, and there's different all all different kinds of things. There's funny, serious, heartfelt, you know, stuff in it. So I think it was just an interesting movie to watch.
I never felt like it was heartfelt. Like I never wanted to cry in this movie or anything.
Yeah. Well,
I can see how someone could think that though. Like you said,
yeah.
there is a wide spectrum of how someone could enjoy this movie or not enjoy this movie.
Yeah.
So,
Exactly. Yeah.
I don't know.
There's movies every once in a while that come out, and it's just like this is a movie that you have to experience and form your own opinion about. I
It
don't.
was really weird because I was laughing more at this movie than Laura was.
Yeah. Like I said, you know, we'll
And
see.
also, dance numbers do nothing for me, by the way.
Oh, well,
So
I thought the
I
music
was
was
like,
good,
oh,
and
great, they're dancing now.
what?
I was just like, oh, great, now they're dancing. It was
Yeah.
like
Well, I
in the trailer for Wonka,
it's
where it's like, I started now, can't stop. That's what it felt like.
well, well, this movie. So when they're in the Barbie world, it's if there were someone was playing with them, right? So they're just like, okay, I'm doing this now. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
they're
no,
just
I understand the joke in that. And then there was dancing at the end. And they do like basically like
yeah,
a grease lightning or something where they go into some
yeah,
pink and blue land. Just
which
like
was hilarious. I like
I
that whole
understand
that
the
song was
joke,
hilarious. Yeah,
and to a degree, it's funny. It's just like you said, it's not laugh out loud funny. It's just like, oh, you're making fun of this. Cool.
yeah. I
I don't
think
know.
yeah, there was layers to it, and yeah, there was plenty of things that I think if you had just gone in cold, there's things you can laugh out loud, but then there's other things you're just like thinking. I thought about this movie afterwards, and I
You want to
think
know what's funny? Ironically, they make a
what?
joke where Godfather, all men show
Yeah,
their
yeah,
to. So I did that to Laura, but what's
yeah,
funny is the person who showed me that movie was my mom
yeah.
and
Well,
explained it to me.
that's mom's favorite movie or one of her favorite
Yeah, I
movies, and
know. So
it
it's just
is also mine. So, but I yeah, it is funny that mom did show it, but I don't know. I don't
so
know.
I
Maybe
was fed up. I was fed up. It wasn't my fault.
yeah, exactly. I I have had a lot of conversations about The Godfather where women are like, I don't it was fine, and I'm like, but you don't understand. This movie's great. So I think that you this movie is
I
heavily
just had to
influenced by a
defend
lot of
myself there.
things. Yeah. I agree. Um So good stuff. Good movie. I liked it. Andrew's at a what? 6, 5? What was it?
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a 6 because I do think it's like better than like Cocaine Bear or something like that. I don't really want to put it that low. Um,
Yeah. Well, on my list for the year, this movie and Cocaine Bear are nowhere near each other on that. So
yeah, I mean, the only parts I really thought that were funny were the Ken parts. Like Will Ferrell did nothing for me, although it is kind of funny watching him run around like a goof. But I
yeah,
mean, everything he said was just like a throwaway line for me.
yeah.
Um,
I thought it was pretty
the
funny.
the SNL lady, I've never found her funny.
Which way?
Um, she's like the messed up doll that kids play with too
Oh no,
hard.
she was funny. Yeah, weird
I
Barbie.
never found her funny. Um, ugh. When they go into the real world and Ken's like, this world's made for men, and then he tries to go get a job as all these things,
Yeah,
and he's like trying to be a doctor or
yeah.
whatever. Security. I thought that was funny.
Can I talk to
Um,
a doctor? I am a doctor.
mhm.
A male, but you're not a
Yeah,
man. Oh, there he is. Yeah, funny stuff. Yeah, you need an MBA, references.
yeah,
But I'm
yeah.
a guy. That's not how it works. I don't know. Good stuff. I thought this was a good movie. So I'm so Andrew's at a 6. I am at 8.5.
All right. All right. Well, maybe we'll see you guys on the next one.
See you later.